Hi guys. Yesterday we talked about standard conversions, and today we're going to talk about metric conversions. So as you can see, I've already got my chart set up, and we're going to take a few minutes to fill in our chart. And this is just a review over something that you should have remembered from the first of the year. And I just wanted to make sure you got it, especially with yesterday's standard and today's metric conversions, because the unit we're getting into, we'll be doing a lot of conversions, so you need to be able to see how that works. All right, so when we're doing metric conversions, here at the top I'm going to write the word metric, and we can remember our kilos, our hectos, our decis, our base, our decis, our centis, and our millis by remembering a phrase, and that is King Henry died by drinking chocolate. I always misspell this word. I hope I spelt it right. Chocolate milk. So that's the way you would remember it. King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. Well, if we were to write this down, we would see that king is your kilos. Henry is your hectos. Died is your decas. B are your bases. So that would be like your meters, which deals with length. That would also be your liters, which deals with liquid, volume, and then there's grams, and that deals with mass, weight. Okay, are we good so far? Then from there, D stands for deci, C stands for centi, and your M stands for milli. Okay, so you have King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. Everybody say it with me. King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. Kilo, hecta, deca are bases, which are meters, liters, and grams. Deci, centi, and milli. Okay, so what you have to understand, everything is always going to start off with 1 unit. And that is going to be our base unit. So we're going to say 1 unit is here. Well, what we have to understand is when we're moving to the left, we're always going to go up by a unit of 10. So this is going to be, if this is 1 unit, then that makes this one 10 units. Okay? Then that one's going to make this one 100 units. And then that'll make kilo 1,000 units. Well, what we have to understand from that point is moving this way, it takes 10 deci to equal 1 unit. So 10 decis equals 1 unit. So that means that would be taking this 1 unit and breaking it down into tens. I hope I can get this right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1 whole unit is then broken down into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 units. So we take a whole and then we start cutting it into pieces. Centi would be 100 centis equals 1 unit. And then milli would be 1,000 millis equals 1 unit. So the same thing. I would have 1 unit, but then they would be even smaller parts, and then they would be even smaller parts. Okay? So what we have to understand is, as we're traveling to the right, we're going to multiply our numbers by 10 if you are getting smaller. So that means we are moving the decimal one space to the right. Okay, so what we're doing is that's going to end up going this way. Okay, and we're multiplying by 10 each time. Okay, well, but what's the opposite of multiplying? Well, that would be dividing. So if we're going to go to the left, we're going to divide numbers by 10 if you are getting larger. Okay, so what we're talking about if we're getting larger is if our units are getting larger. So our deca is 10, our hecta is 100, our kilo is 1,000. Well, that is getting larger. We're here if we're getting smaller. If this is 1 unit, well, to make up 1 unit, I have to have 10 of these. To make up 1 unit, I have to have 100. And to make up 1 unit, I have to have 1,000. So that's how we're getting smaller here, but we're going to multiply it. Well, at this point, we are moving the decimal 1 space to the left. Okay, so from this point, we're now going 1, 2, 3. And every time we do this, we are dividing it by 10. Okay? All right. So let's say I have the example of oh, I'm sorry, hold on. Let's say I have the number, hold on, I'll come back with an example because I've got a lot of time on this one. So I'll do another one with an example.